Welcome to the third module of Participatory Fluency. In this module, we'll discuss how to give opinions with an appropriate manner and establishing rapport and connection with people with different ideas and different thoughts to exchange. How to do this in a polite way, in a way that creates connection instead of friction, in a way that is respectful, is very important, especially in the times of social media and where a lot of chaos can be created while people don't respect each other's points of view, and have problems creating the connections they need to, leading to social inequalities and social problems socializing, so to speak. Knowing how to socialize is an essential skill in today's world. And when you find someone who you may have an interesting conversation with, they may ask you to give an opinion about something, and you may agree or disagree. But before that, you may ask someone if they simply like something, and they will reply you yes or no. This simple format of exchange can give you an idea of what we're talking about when we talk about thoughts, feelings, and arguments. If you think about a person, for example, that likes music, and you want to know what kind of music they like, you simply ask, "So, do you like rock?" And if they answer no, you're going to be a little bit disappointed maybe, but starting from there, you know more or less what this person is like, because that reveals something about this person. At least this is normally how we make assumptions about people. But not necessarily is it a good strategy. You may want to ask different kinds of questions to see what else they like and they dislike, to know more or less more about the personality of this person, and not be based on these things to create a profile of who the person is. You should ask specific questions about a person's experience and all kinds of factors that affect who this person is and their identity and their character, and not simply what they like or dislike. Regardless of those factors, it is a starting point to ask what a person likes or dislikes. And so I invite you to start conversations looking for those points of similarity or difference. The example of liking rock was, of course, something general. But you can talk about, for example, hot weather and cold weather. This is another very generic topic. If you find a person who doesn't like hot weather, you would probably advise them not to come to Brazil, because around here it gets pretty warm. But it depends on which region you're talking about. In the United States, for example, we have many kinds of regions and many kinds of weathers, and so this may vary. But what people feel about how the weather is what you want to know, and how to ask if a person likes or not cold weather, warm weather, living in the city with the air conditioner with the heat on, and going on the street to buy things and do things with the public transport, with an Uber, with their cars, with the air conditioner on, will depend on the person's experience, and you have to get to know the person, to talk a little bit more. This means that for every goal that we establish here, your vocabulary will need to expand a little bit more. And so these kinds of more complicated, so to speak, questions will be important to ask, but also to get deeper in, because these are goals that are complementary, but in a way can be progressively more difficult. It's easier, for example, to talk about your home and the things that you do every day than to talk about why you don't like something. To explain why you don't like something might mean something interesting for you, but it can mean something entirely different when you're looking, for example, at situations in the professional environment. To be very clear and polite is important, to be able to give your opinion in a respectful way and to be recognized for your contribution and your ideas and not for your attitude. And this makes a huge difference in the kind of professional that you want to be. Engagement in those kinds of discussions is becoming more common, but so are people taking attitudes that are not seen as very ethical. Navigating this can be challenging, but knowing how to disagree will take you a little bit of effort, because you have to start a discussion, enter the discussion, and stay in it, replying to a person's points of view and contributions with your own, and saying, this is interesting, but I just think that if you look at this other factor, we will reach a better conclusion about this whole situation. In this kind of discussion, you will have enriching debates and learn more about the other and the topic that you're discussing. Most people, though, talk about what they like and dislike without caring too much about the words that they're using. And so, in common English and common language, urban language, so to speak, it is common for people to only ask if they like or dislike something and say, oh cool, we can be friends now. Just to make a joke, of course. But this actually happens. If, for example, you like an artist and the person also likes this artist, you're very likely to become friends because you like the same kinds of things. And in fact, considering the digital world, a lot of applications have been developed to make people organize around similar interests. So what you like and dislike will have an impact in what you see and who you talk to. In the next section, we'll talk about plans and how they refer to the future. I'll see you there.